what can do develop and get ready. Uh, Beautiful day.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the live. Okay, I need to do that before I do that. All right, we are live and local, and it's absolutely wonderful. Here we go, back to the full screen. This is the wonderful sunrise this morning. It is looking fabulous. We've had weeks of rain. Weeks of rain. We've had days of rain. Let me just take that back. But look at that sky, and we'll definitely be out and about today. We've got a few extra projects to finish in the yard. I started a couple yesterday, and we'll get them completed at some stage during the day, and there'll be a video out. There'll be a few videos this week. Tomorrow is the King's birthday, and we will be having a public holiday in celebration of the birth date, which actually isn't his birthday, but that's another story. And we're looking out at Emu Bay. There it is, magnificent. It is a bit cooler. What is the temperature today? Let's look over here. Come over here and we'll go weather. Okay, let's have a look. Currently, believe it or not, currently it's 13 degrees Celsius. We're getting to a height. That can't be correct, is it? Let's have a look here. Geez, I hope that's right. All right, let me have this. Currently 9.3. It says we'll be getting to a high of 17. I really do hope so. I do not believe that. Which weather site's this one? Weather Zone. Okay, well, currently 9.3, which I do believe. Humidity is 100%. Wind is 9 kilometres an hour from the west. And we have wind gusts of about 11 kilometres an hour today. So, yeah, today's high, well, according to this, today's high at 2 p.m. will be 17 Celsius. That's almost, I could almost say that's summer weather. Hello, Shawnee's at the garden and sweating her butt off. Just thought I'd do an early one. I'll probably do a late one today as well. It is my first day off, really. I've been working all week in the wet weather, which was very unpleasant. Um, yeah, 1762 Fahrenheit. It is going to be, I can't believe 17. Like, I'm sure it doesn't say. I'm on Weather Zone. I might just change sites and we'll just see if another site says anything different. Because if it is going to be 17 today, I will be one happy chappy. All right, so we're loading up the next site. Okay, so this one, let's go to the Bureau of Meteorology, government run. Yep, it says 17. Maximum today, partly cloudy and 17. Well, at the moment, there is partly clouds there coming across right now as we speak. And that sun's rising. It is 8:18 a.m. on Sunday morning. Looking at the forecast here, we've got a shower or two for tomorrow, which is disappointing. Tuesday, rain. Wednesday, rain. Thursday, rain with it's a possible shower. Friday, rain. Oh, man. Saturday, showers. Okay, so we're going to get plenty of water for the garden and the grass and everything else. Today looks like being the best day of the bunch. Yesterday was quite good. We had a little bit of rain, which was unannounced. We were not supposed to have rain, but yesterday we did. So Shawnee's saying over in Minnesota it is 87 Fahrenheit. And if it gets to 70, if it gets to 16 or 17, it's around 60 to 62 Fahrenheit, which will be lovely winter weather for us. I had to flip and water everything. The rain never came and the plants were wilting. And I seen you had the lovely mushroom Mark brought you home a bunch of plants from the gardening centre, which was pretty cool. And here we are. We're back here with the split cam system. This is a bit fancier system than the in-window webcam. This one is a quality camera outside of the building, which is giving some glorious shots of those clouds rolling through. Well, I'll tell you what, gardening is becoming a part of a passion of mine, part of what I do now, part of my daily routine, checking the seedlings, getting some seedlings booming, and or some of the punnets that I've put seeds into, some have fired up and some have not. So it is part of my daily schedule. It's all trial and error. I know it is winter here, so I'm going for the broccoli, the lettuce. They're firing up very well. The potatoes are they're taking off in them pots. Um, Same as some say about Gary the garlic is another 3 inches taller. He's taken off. Yeah, so check out the new video coming out soon. It will show these few things, plus the wet weather we've had, plus the very secret gravel pit that I go to. So yeah, there's a few of those little features on the next upcoming adventures on Outback Tasmania on the videos. We're currently at about 512 watch hours. Or no, 522 watch hours. So we're going along quite nicely. Trying to get to 4,000. So you will be seeing me live probably twice a week. And if for whatever reasons I get a chance to do a pop-up, I will definitely be on live this time every Sunday morning, Australian Eastern Daylight Time, yeah. Or no, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Daylight is for daylight savings. Yeah, look at them clouds. They're rolling in nicely or unpleasantly, depending on the way you look at it. But yeah, it is that time of the year where you never know what you get. It's a mixed bag. Let's check out what's been going on. Looking at the news. Okay, the government rules out road tanker for the refueling ship. There's an icebreaker that goes down to the Antarctic and it comes up to Hobart. And for whatever reason, it cannot go underneath the bridge it can fit under there, but they don't let it go under there because the amount of fuel it carries, or there's some sort of rule. The Tasmanian government fuel company has pitched a plan to refuel Australia's Antarctic icebreaker in Hobart using road tankers, potentially saving hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Tas Petroleum has announced they cannot access the marine fuel depot at Selfs Point because the ship won't be piloted underneath the Tasman Bridge due to safety concerns. Instead, the vessel will be travelling 674 kilometres to Burnie to refuel since this all started in 2023, adding around $875,000. That's $875,000 to the annual fuel bill in recent years. That's a lot of fuel for a 12-month cycle. And that's added to it. That's not what it uses. That's just extra. We put 500,000 litres on the Scenic Eclipse here a couple of months back at Point Mac in 10 hours. And that was via road tankers. So it can be done by road tankers. but the government said, no, they got to come up here. There you go. That would be a pretty cool job going down, breaking ice down the Antarctic on this icebreaker. So that's one interesting local story. Let's see what else they got for us. The discontinued Burnie waterfront rail line is slated for removal in the next financial year. So the rail line used to go way up to Smithton, up that way, and since then, when they closed the train lines for the public, and they just used it for freight. It only comes as far as Burnie, and then it stops. So everything from Burnie onwards is going to be removed. They tried to put a heritage listing on it to say they couldn't remove it, but it looks like they are. They're going to be taking it off. Shawnee went on a field trip today. Now, where did you go, Shawnee? Burnie's discontinued foreshore rail line will be torn up within months, with the Burnie City Council has heard. At its last meeting of councillors were told the rails along the waterfront here in Burnie were slated for early removal in the next financial year. The timing came up when the councillor Ken Dorsey was asked whether the removal date had been set. No, we don't have a set date, he said, but our indication timeframes is that it'll be the first quarter of the year. The rail corridor, has been discontinued for years since the rail line, and its materials owned by the state government. The removal is the latest stage of a long-running effort to clear foreshore rail corridor. It is a lovely area too. The rail corridor around the foreshore. There's bike tracks, and if you had an e-bike. If anybody out there wants to send this whole bloke an e-bike, I will definitely show you how this rail corridor works. Shawnee went up to the ranch barn learning farm acres. Ranch barn learning farm acres. That sounds like a lot of fun, Shawnee. Kittens, ponds, and ducklings. So no kittens were thrown in the ponds? That is a joke. Getting back to the rail line, further west, the rail line between Burnie and Wynyard have already been pulled up and replaced by the Northwest Coastal Pathway, a shared walkway for cycling that opened up in late 2024. During that project, rails, sleepers, and vegetations were stripped back from the corridor, and the council expects to confirm the timing approvals once finalised. Here's an interesting story here. A Lindisfarne teenager, Jed Burgess, has been selected for the Australian under-18s gridiron team. A 16-year-old from Lindisfarne has been selected for the Australia's under-18s gridiron team. Jed Burgess will travel. Well, there we go. We have Houston. We have a problem. Oh, well, let's sort this out. couple of minutes to sort out. Oh man, nothing ever works good here. But as a true professional, I can I can just link. I can keep the show rolling. That is the inside camera. Not as good as the outside camera at this time of the day in these cooler weather conditions. That is the outside camera. This is a cool shot, actually. Let's see how long that takes to come on screen. Are we delayed? Hi, cousins. Good to see you. Serena Norrell. Oh, man. Let's get back to, actually, hang on, I've got to do this. I'm out of the loop for so long. Let me get back to this shot. Yeah, welcome back. And multiple cameras. Yes. They're all playing up. Shawnee says, welcome into Serena. What do you get when you cross an elephant with a kangaroo? Great big holes all over Australia. I'm in the northwest, up in the Burnie region, where that sun is starting to come through the window very nicely. Tasmania is an island at the bottom of Australia. Yes, it's an oldie but a goodie. Shawnee, that one is an oldie but a goodie. Yes, you're welcome. Yes. Out of all the regions right, in Tasmania, Hobart, there's 550,000 odd people here on the island. 250,000 of that 500 live in Hobart, which is the other end, down the bottom at the southern end of Tasmania. The city is bigger, obviously. It's a larger spread of suburbs. It is quite nice. And it is a nice area. And if you want that sort of lifestyle of the big city, you can definitely set yourself out there. So Radio Jonesy is out ACL Tasmania too. Yes. Radio I have the outback is the back of my place. That is the whole region of the outback Tasmania. It is just a brand, the name of the channel, and it's all outback Tasmania is like a gardening projects, that sort of channel that I'm doing. Yeah, I understood exactly what you were saying. Yep, outback, ACL. Okay, outback Tasmania too. Yep, that's me. I have I have Radio Jonesy on tour with Radio. Look, here we go. The Radio Jonesy network, right there. Yeah, I call it the network because I started with on tour with Radio Jonesy as my serious vlogging, driving around, showing areas channel, and then we changed that to a conversation piece channel, which was called Radio Jonesy, and surprise, surprise, that was popular in certain sectors, and a lot of people got into the conversations about um, where first a lot. I got a lot of success with the conversation about like keeping to yourself, being alone. I like to do my own thing, keep to myself, and let life run its journey. And that got me monetized. That conversation. So we ended up that ended up getting to monetization. So then I had two channels monetized, and then I started Tasmania Island Life. And Tasmania Island Life, that's my was going to be my vlogging channel, but everyone kept watching the drive arounds, so I kept just filming drive arounds. And see if I can get that glare off that camera, maybe if I just. No, that ain't gonna work. But anyway, long story short, the I have three channels which I enjoy doing, all three of them. But I got motivated by all the gardeners, and a few people said you should start up just a channel, be yourself, do your thing, fix up little projects outside, that sort of thing. So that got me motivated to do the third channel, which takes a lot more time to do, takes a lot more work. And sure enough, it's plodding along. And but the best thing about that channel is that I'm enjoying spending time outside in the garden, doing the yard, doing the seeds, the plantings, the gardening, the fixing up projects. I'm doing a lot of projects out the front, but I don't film out the front. I just do out the back. So when we were thinking of the right name for it, a couple of people said, "Yeah, just out the back in Tasmania," and that sort of morphed into Outback Tasmania, which has got a bit of a ring to it. Sometimes I do go out into the mountains, which I have been this week. I've been over to Strawn. I've been into Queenstown. There are acres and hectares and miles of land with nothing there except for wilderness. So there is plenty of outback out there. So I reckon the old Tasmanian tiger still exists. I reckon he's out there lurking around. This fella, the thylacine or thylacine, whichever way you want to say it. But the Tasmanian tiger, people say he still exists, and there's that much land out there. There's that much wilderness. I'm a bit like the old Bigfoot story, but it's more realistic. There's been a few sightings, a few videos of people seeing him. Do do you get hummingbirds in Tasmania? I am not a bird expert. I do not see the little hummingbirds, the ones that fly really fast and then sort of go into them feeders. I have not seen any of those. I tell you what, I did see coming back out of the mountains the other day was the biggest wedge-tailed eagle I've ever seen. He was standing as big as a wallaby, and he was eating a carcass on the side of the road that got hit like I think it was a wallaby, but I'm not sure. It could have been something else. But he was feeding on this carcass, and it was next to a sheer rock wall. Like he's come down to land, but as there was two cars heading by, And the first car slowed right down. And I was like, what's he slowing down for? But the eagle couldn't fly away because he was trapped between the rock wall and the cars. So he just stood there and stared at us. And true YouTubing, I did not get any video footage of that at all. But it was massive, absolutely massive. And the passenger I had in the car said, "That is the biggest bird I've ever seen in my life." So it was it was fantastic to see a wildlife like that just out in the open. I watched an Amish channel on YouTube where they talked about mosquitoes and how to control them and keep them away. If you want to know the channel name, sure. I like watching. I do watch an Amish channel, and I thought he was Mennonite, but no, he says he's Amish, but he films himself, and I'm told that's not the done thing. But anyway, that's not the done thing. Let's. Oh, I see the other. The outside camera has turned itself off, which is a bonus. That's the guy I watch. That's the channel. I actually watch that guy, Elias Yoda. He's an interesting dude. Definitely. I was talking about him last week on the last live, and I couldn't remember who he was, and I had to go back in, and I found him. I'm not subscribed to him, but his stuff just pops because I watched it. It just keeps coming into the feed. That's the channel, Shawnee Elias Yoda. Isn't it funny how a lot of people have like similar content? There we go. Look at Shawnee. She's onto it. There is, if you're watching the replay, I'm not sure if you get the live chat, but there is the link to Elias Yoda. I might have to get that myself. You know when you click buttons and you click the wrong button? I just did that. But yeah, yes, wonderful. I usually go. I usually do Radio Jonesy at this time to promote both channels to get people from Radio Jonesy to see that I do this other channel. But today I didn't. This is like baby steps. I'm stepping out of the shadows, which is I still need to do stuff on Radio Jonesy because I've got some wonderful members there, and I need to keep them entertained and up to date on what's going on. Like if I just turn on my feed right now, I've got Football Australia, which is the World Cup's coming up, so they're really shoving that into your feed. The World Cup is in the United States, actually, and Australia do play against the United States. And I see Australia had a 1-1 draw with Switzerland, and the United States got beat 2-1 by Germany overnight or today, if it's still early evening time. A channel I do enjoy watching, Cabin Rivers Outdoors. If you haven't seen that guy, that's Sean. It's Cabin River Outdoors. Cabin River Outdoors. I'll just. Sure, it's outdoors, yeah. Yeah, check that one out. Cabin River Outdoors. He's an interesting dude. Okay, here we go. This is about Eliza Yoda. He talked about walking the property, dumping wheelbarrows, tarps, and other things that hold water, but do not need it. Making a mixture of in a dark bucket to attract mosquitoes and using to kill larvae and spraying the eaves in other daytime hiding spots to kill adults. Yeah, they love standing water. So like we were told to all your pots, when you have your trays underneath, we were told to not do that, as kids because of we got enough rain. You don't need to do that, and that just gets rid of the mosquitoes. Over here, we're told vitamin D, no, vitamin B. Sorry, vitamin D is the sun. Vitamin B. If you have a lot of vitamin B in your system, the mosquitoes don't like it and leave you alone. How true is it? I do not. This is like passed down, and surprisingly enough, our Vegemite has vitamin B in the Vegemite. So we were told just if you want to take vitamin B tablets, eat lots of Vegemite, and the mosquitoes leave you alone. And for me, that's a true fact that actually they don't. I see them buzzing, I see them land on me, I see them fly away without getting bitten. Maybe my blood just is not good enough for them. But yeah, there is Cabin Rivers Outdoors. He's Sean. He's an interesting dude. I watched that video. He comes out one big video a week usually. And he's a guy. He's Canadian. He bought this big parcel of land in the wilderness. He quit his job and he wanted to see if he could make YouTube his sole source of income. And he's a builder, so he's milling his own wood, building his cabins and his little compound and surviving. And then when he wants to go to the store or whatever, the good thing about him, Shawnee, is that he's just discovered the joys of gardening and the fertile soil where he lives. And he gets dumps of snow. He gets like 4 foot of snow dumped on him when the snow hits. He's got a river which helps him get to where the car is. He hasn't got a driveway or access, so he's got to go in by boat or he hikes in. So everything he's got to drag in either in a sled or in the boat, or when it's a lot easier for him in the winter when he uses the snow ski, whatever you call them things, snowboard thingy-majiggy, like a jet ski, but it's on snow. He also showed coffee can with holes drilled in and talked about taking dried herbs, rosemary, sage, mugwort, putting them in the can and lighting it, then covering it with a terracotta cover. And that sort of smoke smell gets rid of them, I'm assuming. Yeah, well, sorry, I'll go to the next quote. And the smoke from the can will repel the mosquitoes for 6 to 8 hours. Yeah, I do like that guy's channel. He's very, if he is lives that lifestyle, he's definitely put himself out there in the real world by doing YouTube. So, one channel definitely I do watch. If I'm going down my feed of my main, I had a Football Australia, Cabin River Outdoors. The next one, surprise, surprise, is Tasmania Island Life. Let's go for a drive between Sprayton to Burnie, which is a bit of a drive I did the other week. And that, Shawnee, that one there is the drive on the video when I had to go help a friend. That was where I went. And that's the drive. I filmed the drive home, for that channel, which has got a massive 107 views. It goes for 40 minutes. So I do get a lot of ads in there, and I do get a lot of, surprisingly, these quick and easy videos to make for me actually sort of work. But with all three channels mixed into one, I get that revenue marker gets passed quite regularly. I haven't missed a beat with that yet. And the next video is a video from a year ago in my feed from Self-Sufficient Me. So that is Mark from Self-Sufficient Me, how to grow a ton of sugarcane and why it's good for you. That is the next video that's in my feed. And then there's a bunch of shorts, and we go down. And the next one in my feed is Outback Tasmania is live. See, I've got one channel that I do my surfing. Outback Tasmania, if I watch YouTube on that channel, I just watch gardening. And then Tasmania Island Life, I watch mainly people traveling, people in Tasmania, I try to keep the channels organized, and I'm told that helps you promote your channel because because I'm a drive around channel. If I watch people traveling a lot around, my videos will come in their feed and say also people like to watch, and then up pops you. So that's a little behind the scenes YouTube tip, but I'm sure Shawnee knows all about that. And if you're listening this on the replay, definitely it helps. I've been doing this now for about 3 years solid, and that little one tip has definitely helped. I saw another Amish channel where they used to repurpose wood, metal racks, and glass panels to make dryers for their produce to have over winter. Yeah, they're wonderful. They are such a resource of old school living. Like that's how the old timers lived back in the day. You know, when people were out trying to resettle land and move inland in the US. You know, like getting their little patch of paradise. Yeah, you had to use what you had on your property or what you could find as a resource. Yeah, so the Amish do that very well. Yeah, I had that problem last week when I was trying to, when I was struggling to remember old mate that I can't remember already. Oh, yeah. They've all got the same beard. I can say that for a fact. I have purple Nicotania. Is it Nicotania? Nicotania? It has over 30 blooms coming through. Between the salmon salvia, this looks like saliva, but salvia, and the clover and the butterfly bush. Hopefully, I will get more butterflies and hummingbirds and bees. Yeah, we get a ton of bees. I was umming and ahhing whether to put a beehive in, but bees are plentiful, and we get the European bumblebee, which is a real big mother, is big as your thumb, flies around, and then we've got the native bees, which are real tiny, and then we've got the standard English bees, whatever they are. Yeah, just going through my feed again. there's a lot of stuff they're pushing my way. Obviously, I watch White Rock Homestead. They're in there. They've done a live a couple of days back, and I missed it. Was working. Tell you where we worked yesterday, which was interesting. We worked in the. Hey, Demoose, good to see you, mate, and thanks for popping in. Just trying to do the watch hour thing, and say hi. And I did not click Radio Jonesy for whatever reason today. I just clicked Tasmania Island Life and went live. But we worked. I had to work Saturday, which is very unusual for me. And the reasoning for that is a lot of the regulars, um, have had jobs elsewhere. So they were, and we had this government contracted gig where we work for this company. Anyway, long story short, we're at the hospital, in the major hospital, 5 a.m. 5 a.m. start till around lunchtime, midday or something. But it was just sitting there, like right near the emergency department. They were lifting crane lifts. They were fixing air conditioning things on the roof. So we had to do this crane sort of setup. And it's just that, like, people, when you're standing outside a hospital for hours and hours on end and you're working there, you see the sick come and go. You see the sick that are in the hospital that come out for a smoke or a durry or get fresh air or whatever they want to do, and have a puff and cough their lungs up and go for a walk, stretch their legs. But then they go back in because they haven't been, not allowed to leave or whatever, for whatever reason. And then I said to the people we were working with, I said, it's about 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. on a Saturday. Give it another hour and we'll watch all the sporting children and adults and injuries. You'll see all the uniforms from the sporting teams. They'll all start arriving soon because I've been there. I've done it. I've been part of that sporting lifestyle. And sure enough, around 10 a.m., car after car after car with poor little kids with busted knees, broken legs, collarbones, holding arms, hopping on ankles, sporting injuries, man. The hospital was just getting filled up. It was unusual. Hey, Demis is saying hi to Shawnee. Here we go again. What is the fastest moving liquid? Milk. Before you know it, it's pasteurized. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Another golden oldie, but a classic. Yeah, so we'll be. I got right. I've got the chainsaw rearing ready to go. I've got a ton of firewood ready to cut up, ready to go, ready to slice and dice. And the Mrs. Radio is going, you are not starting that chainsaw today. I want a day of peace and quiet. So obviously the chainsawing will be tomorrow in the rain. By the look of it, the rain's coming. So today will be gardening, and I'll be probably putting out a video on Radio Jonesy as well, talking a conversation piece. And just having fun on the old YouTube channels. And the here we go. I'm just no more mosquitoes. Look at that. That's in my feed right now. Serena. Kill every mosquito the Amish way. And it's safe for honeybees and pests. 999,000 views in 2 weeks. Elias Yoda. Awesome. Yeah. No wonder you've seen it. I'll probably start it, Shawnee. If it's going to rain tomorrow, I do not want to just climb the hill and soar in the rain. I've got, like, when it does rain, I've got gravel runs to do. You'll see that in the next video. It was flogging down with rain, and I'm out there shoveling gravel into these bins and tubs, and then I got to bring them to where they need to go in buckets. So I've got to shovel it out of the car into the buckets, walk up 19 steps, walk down the side of the house, walk up the side where I've got the gravel now, go to the end of the queue and dump it. Walk back to the car, shovel in the buckets, walk up the 19 steps, go down the side of the house, walk up the side where the gravel is as far as the gravel is, and dump it and continue that process. But the joy of that is that I'll be making a couple more garden beds on the way up that side behind the studio out the back. And then I've got to fix my compost piles. The compost bin that I have, the 240-gallon big bin, that is absolutely this time of year, right? It's cold. I put my hand in there and it is cooking. So I'm thinking of tipping it out and turning it over and sticking it back in. So I'm going to tip it out, move the bins, and then refill it. And if any of it's any good, I might even use some of it for the gardens that I've been planning. I've been using sugarcane mulch. I tell you what I did find in the pots. The problem you have with pots, plants in pots, especially food, is that slugs come from wherever they come from, and they, especially the little cavity. You know, the pot's got that little cavity underneath. Slugs get under there, and I need to get about 4 or 5 chickens because I could be feeding them up with all these slugs. Okay. What do you call a twitching cow? Beef jerky. I've got to get my desk a bit closer, or this desk a little bit more that way. I will sort that out later because I'm too far away. I've got to reach right over here to press the button. Actually, I didn't check the audio. How is the audio? Obviously, it's working. Let me go to settings. While we're here, I'll go to audio. Yep. Good old StreamYard. One thing about StreamYard, like it says I'm using the Rodecaster Pro mixing desk. I didn't have to reset it. When I changed to EV Mux, I got to reset everything every time. That could be me. I do not know. It could be me. Let me just change that a bit. Move that over to there without dropping the camera or hitting something. Move the laptop. Okay, we are sweet. All right, we are sweet. And yeah, my little deskie's getting a bit, tabletop's getting a bit messy with the old cards. I haven't sorted them out for weeks on end. Poor old friend, my friend across the road, they're putting their house on the market. They've updated their front deck, like their nice big deck. They put new boards in, and when they put their lacquer over the top to protect the timber, it's come up. The old and the new are 2 different colors, so now they have to redo the deck with a new undercoat, and then put this new overcoat on to make the 2 colors combine before they sell the property. So her plan was there's rain, rain. So we had this window of opportunity over the weekend. So they hired this massive heat gun, which is like a jet engine off an aeroplane. It is round. It is like 5 foot long. It is round as that big ball of heat, and it's just blowing hot air onto the deck to dry it out, so they could get it all dry before they could lacquer it. And she was on it day and night. And then in the morning, it was like this blue sky, lovely day. They were all getting ready. They look at their weather thing and it says 3% chance of rain. Yep, 3% chance of rain. And she said, I looked up, I walked out to my car and they're out the front. Geez, that camera's pretty bad. That's nice blue sky there. Anyway, there we go. There's some blue sky. The weather was like this, and I said, and see on the right there was this great cloud, and sure enough, that one grey cloud come in and went, I'm going to dump up like 100 buckets of water on your deck. And all the hard work was, and then they kept drying. We went out, and then she said, I'm giving it one more go. And then when we come back, they were still blasting it. And then, sure enough, another cloud come over and dropped rain all over it. And then you just heard it get turned off, loaded into the car, and then sent back to the company they rented it from. They'd done it for about 2 days, and then they just give up. Anyway, why do hummingbirds hum? They do not know the words. Oh, classics. Absolute classics. Yeah, but it is a bit that way. I'm probably I'm going to wind this up in about 3 minutes from now. It's going to be over an hour, and then later today, later this afternoon, or could it be even early evening my time? I'm going to do another live on this channel, so keep an eye out for that one. Keep an eye out for the replay. If you get a chance to watch or to listen to one of the lives while you're doing some housework or whatever, I would appreciate that. Put a comment in saying you're part of the replay crew and you're here supporting. I would love to. I'd love to send you out a sticker or two. So you can send me an email at radiojonesy1 @gmail.com. radiojonesy1 @gmail.com. Send me an address where I can send it. And I used to have a sticker pack, but I've sent out so much. I've got plenty of Outback Tasmania stickers anyway. And I might be able to throw something else in. But I'd like to thank everyone for their support, everyone for popping in, especially Serena, Shawnee, Demoose. Great people, great friends, and good times. I'll be out the back finishing a video that I started yesterday. I got one more little project to do to clean that video up to get it. I could have put to be continued at the end of that last video, but I just want to do one more thing and then I'll add it to the video and then I will crunch it all up and then put it out later today. If you get a chance over the next week or so to have a look at it, that'll be awesome. And I'd just like to say thanks to everyone for your support. And I'll catch all of you somewhere soon on YouTube. Until then, ciao.